about how long had you arrived to that?
This is for, over 500 people. So they're never going to have an event in those places under 500 people. And we are estimating, this is our estimate. We're not putting, this is not a binding commitment, but we're saying our estimate is this will go through September. That's 6 months. I think that's the right way to think about it right now. I do. And I feel horrible for them. I mean, they're very, very important places in this city, and lots of people work there, and lots of people depend on what they do, but that's just the reality right now.
The other question is, viewers are calling us concerned about weddings. Weekend is fast approaching. Most weddings are under 500 people. What is the advice of the health department to people who may be attending a celebration like this? You have people of all ages. What are they to do?
So our recommendation would be the same as we would give individuals who are having those questions about work, about school, and it goes back to the really fundamental. If you are sick with fever and a cough or fever or shortness of breath, don't go. If you are an individual who has one of the chronic underlying illnesses that we're most concerned about, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, immunocompromised, and chronic lung disease, then I would think twice, and especially if you're over 50, I would think twice about going.
Let me be the non-doctor and just say I would go a step further than the think twice, just common sense from my point of view. And I know a wedding is a crucial, priceless, beautiful moment, so no one wants to miss it. But I'd say if you're someone with those pre-existing conditions, and particularly if you're over 50, if you go to such a wedding, you should really keep your distance from people. You can be there and experience it, but try not to be too close to people is what I would argue, just to be abundance of caution. It's painful, but I think it's better than taking a risk right now. And obviously, if you're talking about gatherings of under 500 people, we're still saying we want those halls, those banquet halls, or wherever it is, to keep their capacity to 50% of what their legal limit is. So it's very sad if anyone has to change their guest list or their plan or do something different, but this is all about protecting people, protecting the couple themselves, protecting everyone there, and people are going to have to make those adjustments. Okay, who has not gone? We're doing the first round, so just reminding everyone the ground rule is if you've gone, hold back, and we'll see if we can get to some others on a second round.
Mr. Mayor, 2 questions, if I may, because DCPI kicked one up to you. You've talked about the importance of frontline employees. What is the NYPD doing to assure that its officers are staying healthy?
We can get you details of how each agency is doing that, but look, overall, I'd say everyone is getting a lot of information from all of you, and then from the guidance from their departments about the basics of staying healthy, including one of the most basic things, which is if you are feeling ill, stay home. It's really profoundly important. And what we know about NYPD officers are incredibly devoted to their job, and they're going to, always show up to protect other people. But we want them to be mindful. If they're not feeling well, stay back. It only takes a few days. And doctor, I think this would be really, really helpful to give people the truth of from the second you start to feel not well to when you can determine you're actually starting to get better or you got a bigger problem on your hands, whatever that is. How many days do you think that is typically when we're talking about these kind of symptoms?
Usually what the trajectory is, people will become symptomatic as early as 2 days from being exposed.
I'm not even saying coronavirus, I'm saying just generally.
Generally
the cold, flu, et cetera thing, how long
2 to 3 days.
Right. So that's, at the point being, for folks to know if they're getting well of whatever is going on or they're not getting well is a very small number of days. And we just want people to exercise that caution.
And my second question, I spoke to your former health commissioner this morning, Dr. Mary Bassett. She said that she was very worried that it doesn't look like New York City is prepared. Her predecessor, Tom Frieden, shared the same concerns. I'm just wondering if you feel like, late yesterday you weren't even saying that they should cancel the St. Patrick's Day parade. Did you wait too long to enact these serious measures at all?
We have been every day every hour assessing and making decisions. Look, you're a very intelligent person. The parade was canceled well before it happened. We were all working to be very, very careful about that decision. This parade has gone on since before the United States of America was a country. Not a minor matter. Outdoor event, different from an indoor event. But the more we looked at it, the less comfortable we got, given everything we're seeing. I don't blame anyone in the world for being really careful about that decision. But the parade, the cancellation of the parade had to happen in time for people to not show up. So there was time on the clock. The same with the half marathon. We're all very conscious of that clock. You guys, and I don't mean disrespect, you guys are a little more energetic about reporting on this thing or that thing. We are watching a whole bunch of elements and really quite aware of what it means to cancel something and when the actual event is. So long as the cancel